I walk through the valley of the shadow of
Because my brother has a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament in Niagara Falls right now.
Oh shit!
And so we had to leave by like 6. We didn't end up leaving by 6:30. We dropped him off at like 8, and then
Did you say Yu-Gi-Oh tournament?
Yeah, like a straight like he's playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now.
That's pretty sick.
He's competing. So
That's pretty sick. Yeah, we're rolling. I'll do the intro. We
Oh,
just
great,
go.
cool.
What the fuck's going on, guys? Caleb Fast here, fastest growing podcast on the planet Earth. I'm here with my co-host.
Thrax, you already know.
And today we have some very special guests across from us. We got motherfucking Judgement from Oshawa. Round of applause for fucking Judgement. Fucking hyped, yo. So glad you guys could make it, bro.
Thanks much.
Super excited. How was the drive down? Is it far? I don't think I've ever been to Oshawa.
I mean, yeah, it was a decent rip. I think just over 2 hours, under 2 hours.
Well, we stopped a couple times, but it was supposed to be, because we took the 407,
Yeah.
supposed to only be like an hour and a half,
Yeah.
but it ended up being like 2 hours probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Typically is, yeah. We take a lot of breaks on the way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No treks, just a straightforward path.
That's sick. So go around and introduce yourselves. Like who is everybody in the band?
Yeah, my name's Ev. I'm the front man of Judgement.
I'm Cam, I play bass in the band.
Fuck yeah.
I'm Lee. I sing and play guitar.
So, if you guys don't mind me asking, how old are you guys? Or how long have you guys been making music, actually?
How long we've been making music? Since 2016, they started the band like in the garage kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was a member since 2017. I started in September. So they were ripping for about a year prior to me joining. And then Lee.
I kind of joined on like right at the end of COVID. So 2021, I played my first show with them. And
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but we've all been friends since elementary school. Lee joined a little bit later, but we've all known each other like our entire lives. So
That's
it was
really
like an
cool.
easy
Love
group
that.
to mesh, you know what I mean?
That's awesome. So there's like chemistry there already.
Yeah.
Is Oshawa like small? Like, cause I'm from Welland, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with Welland. It's really close here. It's like 20 minutes from here.
Right.
But it's like small town vibes. Like everybody knows each other. Like I know Mateo from Other Wives, which obviously you guys
Nice.
are fucking playing with.
Yeah.
So is Oshawa like small town vibes where like everybody kind of knows each other, becomes friends, and then fucking hates each other and shit like that? Or is it, is it like still kind of like a bigger city? Because I honestly like don't think I've ever even been there. Just make sure you sit forward. Yeah.
I mean, I think that it used to be more of like the small town vibes.
Yeah.
But like the city's been growing a lot. There's just been like the city's mostly houses now. Like
Yeah.
a lot of like condos going up, like townhomes and stuff. So just because of just like a bunch of new people coming, I feel like we're a little bit more distant than we used to be, because it used to be more of like a small city.
Is it
I would
near,
think.
Like, Ottawa?
No.
No.
So Oshawa's
southern right down.
Whippy. Like,
Okay.
so Whippy would be our closest Oshawa, and then we have like Curtis, Bowmanville. So we're more east.
Okay.
Ottawa is like 4 hours like northeast of us.
Fucking
So
sweet.
yeah.
How old are you guys though? I don't. Think
Oh, we're all 26. You're
26,
yeah, we're all
yeah.
26.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm 26.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
So, just like I've deep dived into your catalog. I think I first found you guys off of TikTok. Like I think I first seen you off that one that went viral for Crashing Down. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, damn, like this is fresh. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is sick. Like I'm a big Alexis on Fire fan too. And I was like, this just is super Alexis vibes, but different. I'm just became like a really big post-hardcore fan recently. Like I used to just really rip rap music and shit, but now I love post-hardcore. So it's really cool to see a band like you guys where you guys have seen a lot of success pretty quick. Like in my opinion, especially for the size of band you guys are. Like, when was your first EP? When was your first EP dropped?
So we dropped our first EP back in 2020 now under the alias Judgement. We had like a little smaller project before that, but anyways,
Okay.
so 2020.
Is that like gone, that other project?
It's like it's kind of like our Easter egg now, bro. So we were actually Poor Judgment before Judgment.
Okay.
We dropped the poor, bro.
That's kind of cool. Right?
Yeah, no more poor. But so that stuff's literally
Love
like
it.
Easter egg. It's only on Bandcamp. It's like a pop punk, like kind of alt rock thing.
That's cool.
So yeah, that was our first. Evans wrote all the songs when he was like 16 on an acoustic, and then we decided to put it together and make an EP.
I still have that CD as well.
Yeah.
It's in my room
No
somewhere.
way.
I still have that.
Because
stuff.
actually, yeah, we met Lee from playing shows. Like he played in a band called We Are X that was pop punk, and we played I think our first or second set.
Early 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at Mustache Club.
Yeah, which rest in peace, Mustache Club.
Rest in peace.
Someone bought it out, supposedly from the U of Tech like school, and unfortunately, it was like the best
That was like a venue, right?
small to
Yeah.
medium sized venue. It was like an 80-100 cap.
Yeah.
One like hallway, fucking stained with beer everywhere. It was hype. It
Have
was
you guys
like-
played Doors yet in Hamilton?
Yeah.
Because that's a sick fucking venue. I seen Summer Heights, Second Harbor, Bud, and somebody else there. That's where I found. Have
That's
you
a
guys heard
good
of Second
show.
Harbor?
Yeah.
They're fucking sick.
Yeah.
I really fuck with their shit too.
Montreal based.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Montreal.
Yeah.
One of their, I think he was their guitar player, background singer. His name is Jake Laxer.
Mm-hmm.
He actually hit me up like a couple years ago, because he just heard like my music and stuff, and I put it out there that I'd be down to like hop on some tracks as features and whatever. I wouldn't charge anything,
That's
just
cool.
just because, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he hit me up, and he was from that band. He
Yeah.
had a side project just under Jake Laxer.
Yeah,
And yeah, it ended up turning out pretty cool.
that's sick.
Yeah, so that's how I kind of found out about them, and I was like, yo, your band's actually sick.
That's fucking sick.
He doesn't play in the band anymore, but they're still super tight.
That's super cool because that Second Harbor band, the lead singer Xavier, super sick guy. We were just chopping up on Instagram. I'm making an album right now. I do like it's kind of like alternative pop, I guess you could say.
Okay,
It's more just like
That's where I come in. Hey,
yeah,
what's up?
It's like alternative pop with like a little bit of that hip hop sort of vibe type shit.
I dig it. Okay.
But I said to Xavier, I was like, yo, this is like brand new news for the fucking internet right now. But I said to Xavier, I was like, yo, I really fuck with your shit. Like, I don't know if you'd be down to do a feature. And he'd be like, yeah, I'm down. I was like, damn, it's that easy, eh? Like, you can just fucking message people and people are cool and like, it's just awesome to see. So talk to me a little bit about Define Alive, because I've had that EP on fucking repeat. My favorite song is Anxiety and the Fear of.
Yeah.
Good track.
Just a great track. Like, and just I think one of the coolest things about your band is you guys have 3 vocalists.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how sick is that? Like, your drummer isn't here right now, but he sings too.
Yeah.
Does he more just do harmonies, but he does leads too?
No, he does.
He sings more than I do.
Yeah, he
Really,
does
eh?
both. Yeah.
Because at first I thought, when I seen the TikTok, I thought you were the lead singer.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought you were the lead singer.
That was probably Faceless then.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Faceless, yeah.
I think, yeah, as I was
Because
saying,
I'm singing the chorus on that one.
as I
so.
was singing, Crashing Down, I was like, maybe it was Faceless though. But yeah, like, talk to me about a little bit of the inspiration behind that EP, because it's very, it's very cohesive, start to finish. There's no misses on it. It's the definition of an EP where it's quick, but it's really good. Like, I love
Thanks,
it.
man.
I love it.
I mean, a little like background behind it, I guess, is this was like us trying to make fucking. Can I swear on here?
Oh, swear away. Please
Post-hardcore
swear.
music, man. Like, yeah, we that was just like our first shot at trying to make heavier music, and
Yeah.
like we all listened to it before, but we were more into the pop punk stuff, and that's kind of why we made that. And I started screaming at a couple shows, just like.
I was gonna say, how long have you been screaming for, man? Because it sounds like you're seasoned. Like,
Probably,
it sounds like your voice is ready to fuck.
I would say like 5 years, 6
Okay.
years, something like that.
Yeah.
I just started doing it like sporadically at shows, like singing the pop punk stuff, just
And
to
then
kind of
screaming
just to kind of like get the crowd going a little bit
Yeah.
more, like scream certain parts.
Yeah, it works too.
Yeah, and I
It really
like
works.
a couple people just said that I had a good scream, so I kind of was just like,
Maybe I should
all
lean
right.
into that. Yeah.
So I leaned into it more, and then the more I did it, the more I was like, yo, this is actually hard as fuck to do. Like,
Yeah.
you can't, this isn't like easy.
It's hard, bro.
Yeah,
It is hard.
it's very hard to like actually scream properly where
You don't blow your voice out and you can sing again still.
Exactly.
That's the fucked part. That is the
exactly
fucked part.
yeah, it's hard, but I don't know, trial and error kind of stuff, right? But yeah, so we started getting into like the heavier stuff, and kind of the background behind the album is like we just wanted to bring light or shine light onto certain
Yeah.
different things about everyday life that really aren't showcased as much.
Mm-hmm.
Like mental illness is a big one. Like, I know, like there are a bunch of songs about mental illness, but I think
Yeah.
it's just like more in depth almost, like suicide prevention. There's a song about domestic violence, which is called November. It's like
Yeah.
I think we
Domestic
close.
violence awareness month.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it also is that much, which is crazy because we didn't even like really know that.
Yeah.
We just kind of were making this song, had like a cool vibe to it. Somebody pitched the name November. Then we were just like, oh, like maybe we write about domestic violence,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. We end up finding out that November is literally like domestic violence month, which is like, it's just pretty crazy that it
It's
lined
crazy
up
the
like
way-
that.
Before you knew that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So anyways, yeah, that's like a little background on it. We just wanted to shine light on like specific things that maybe people are going through but don't really have a song for that specific thing, just because music has helped all of us so much in our lives, just with like coping, and I'm sure you guys too, right? It's like kind of a universal thing, but yeah, just kind of poking at like these like specific little things that I'm like, I don't know, maybe people need more help with
Yeah.
these sort of things, right?
Yeah. One thing I wanted to ask you. So your drummer's not here. How many bandmates do you have? How many bandmates?
So there's 5 of us in total. So missing here. So we have Cam, Evans. We're
I
missing.
was gonna say I'm almost glad all you motherfuckers didn't come because it's fucking tight in here.
So
he's like the
shout out to the rest of them for not.
yeah.
Ev said, and like, yo, I wish they did come, but I'm also kind of like, whoo, because he said, yeah, Cam and Ev, like, or Ev said, Cam and I will come, and then he's like, oh, 2 other guys might come too. I was like, I'm down, like, I'll move the fucking fish tank, like, I like, we'll do what we have to do, but there's 5 of you in total.
Yeah. So we're missing our lead guitarist and then our drummer as well right now. But
And you,
What
so
are their names?
we got Riley on drums. He sings clean vocals as well as drums.
yeah.
And then we have James Hack, who's our lead guitarist.
Shout out Riley and James.
Yeah, let's
Shout out
let's
Riley
go.
and James for real. So I noticed you guys have only ever done, because I try to be pretty like researched on shit when I do shit, or else you kind of just look stupid. But I noticed you only did one other interview before this. Is that true? With I'm not sure if it was with the studio that you did the live project for, but I can only find one on YouTube.
Oh, word. So maybe on YouTube, we've definitely done like other podcast sessions and stuff. Like Ev's been on like a bunch, but
Okay, cool.
that's
Cool.
honestly a good question. Like I don't know where they're posting them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I mean-
we were both looking for them separately, and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even find the one he found, but he found one of them. So yeah, we had a tough time finding them for like.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Maybe
any
just
of them.
Instagram plugs, to be honest, because they're.
I thought we lucked out. I was like, we got the first Judgment
Yeah,
interview.
it
I was
could
like,
be.
we got the
Maybe
first
they're not
fucking Judgment
posted on-
interview.
I was looking on YouTube. Maybe they threw them on
Like they're on
TikTok,
it, yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
everywhere else, etc.
So-
Except for YouTube.
Some of them are on YouTube, but a lot of them are under, like, maybe it's like like the subtitle is Judgment, but it's more so like my name, like Ev Gallows, probably.
Yeah.
Most of the interviews that we've done, like I've been a part of, whether it's been like all of us, just me and another person or whatever. So it could be like if you search maybe Ev Gallows, like
Yeah, it might come
podcast,
up.
something like that.
Yeah.
We also had our own podcast too. I don't know if you guys
Oh really?
got
No
to
way.
look
Wow.
at that,
Hey,
but
where? So is it still going on? You still doing it? Is
So-
it still out?
You want to
Sorry.
We're kind of trying to, you know, kind of put it back together.
That's
Just
awesome.
trying to
Yeah, you should.
reformat it and get it a little bit more concentrated. That was one of our biggest things before. It was just like so many voices, you wouldn't be able to get through the point, especially if we were interviewing
We all
someone.
have too many opinions on everything.
Yeah.
We're like
Yeah.
those guys that just take on a tangent for 30 minutes on one subject.
Yeah.
Well, what if you guys just did podcasts, just you guys all the time, like just the bandmates, you know what I mean? And you guys are just talking, you can talk about things in life, you know what I mean? Or like whatever, like, yo, do you hear about that? That's crazy. Like, you know, and it's just, then it won't be too much. It's just you guys, you know, like you're not bringing anyone else in and like ever,
Yeah.
you know? I don't know if that's how you did it before, but yeah.
That's kind of the vibe now that we're like kind of moving forward with. Originally it was during COVID, so it was all like virtual for the most part.
Yeah.
Well,
It was just pre-COVID.
It was kind of
Mid.
before, and it was kind of like it was happening, but the restrictions weren't happening yet, so we could still have them in person. And then towards the end of it, it was like the
virtual.
yeah, it was more the virtual.
So the original, we did like 10 episodes. They're on Spotify somewhere. We like had it attached to our page for a bit, but this is a little bit older, and we were gonna do a season 2. So it's not up at the moment, but we did 10 episodes. Each episode, the first time through, we had a guest.
Yeah.
So we had a few different people, like producers that we had worked with, other band members, our videographer, photographers, like things like that. Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's also hard too, probably just to like. I know it's hard to juggle both this shit and actually keep it like consistent. That's the other thing too, right? Especially with like, I couldn't imagine having a band, to be honest. Like I'm way too neurotic for that. Like I'm not very good at like working with people type shit. So like in order to like plan everything around like, oh, who schedules this? Boom, boom, boom. Are we doing this at this time? Like it would be tough, right? It'd be tough. But what was the driving factor that made you guys, and who was the person who said like, yo, we should really like to give this band shit like a proper shot, proper effort?
Like being in a band and being
like, because I noticed it's like it's not a new. I don't know. From what you say now, it's like not like a new band because you had the Bad Judgment,
Poor Judgment,
Poor Judgment before. But like I just noticed your releases, they only started in 2019, right?
Yeah.
So what was it around 2019 where you're like, what, fuck this, like let's go, like I want to do this.
I think we always kind of had that mindset of like we want to do this, but I think that maybe it was when. I'm trying to think of like when it was like,
because that's a big.
This actually could be a thing.
That's a big moment, right?
You can always have these dreams and like just be like, yo, one day this is gonna happen. Like it's gonna be cool. But then there's a moment where you see something or you feel something where it's like, oh, this isn't just a dream anymore. Like it could actually be possible.
Yeah.
And I think it was maybe.
I think the changeover, like the name.
Like the rebrand. Yeah. The rebrand for sure. Like. When we changed over, it was kind of like, yo, let's actually take this a little bit more seriously and do, a little bit more than just make music, be like social media presence, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I really think like the biggest thing for us was the crashing down video kind of moving. And then we were doing a lot more like promotion stuff and like different marketing and stuff like that. So once we started getting into that field, which was kind of during COVID because there was no playing shows, so we had to focus more on
just straight promo,
and just like a social presence to try to pull people to our music that we released during a pandemic. So it's not like we could go tour this record.
And plus, you didn't know when shit was gonna be normal again.
Exactly.
Right?
So I think it was like that moment where it was like, oh, like. We actually do have something here. Yeah. Like we all knew it, but it was kind of like other people are noticing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's probably the moment.
I was gonna say too, probably a big thing that happened was when you guys worked with Wade on that record, right? Because that's super cool. Like I met Wade. I'm actually a barber, and I met him as a fucking. He was a walk-in at my barbershop.
Oh really?
And I cut his shout out Wade. I cut his hair twice, and like. I was like,
so he came back. He was like, "This is."
He didn't come back and like request me. I won't even take that much credit. Like it was probably
like this was a fresh.
As soon as I found out like who he was, like, cause I wasn't a huge Alexis fan until like 2 years ago, to be honest. But now I really fuck with them. So like I'm definitely late to the party. I honestly didn't even know. Like it was Wade walking into my barbershop, and he just sat down, and I'm just doing my barber thing. Like I'm just like, yo, what do you do? Like he's like, I'm in a band. I was like, oh, that's sick. Like I make music too. What band? He's like, Alexis on Fire. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like,
oh shit,
fuck, shit. How do I cut hair?
yeah.
But what was that? Like tell me about how that whole thing like came to be, because that's a big thing. Like you have a whole video on it too. I want people to go check that out for sure. But that was for Faceless, right?
Faceless and Crashing Down.
Both of them. Dude, that's sick.
So. I mean, Wade was a childhood kind of like idol for.
That's crazy.
Most
that's
of us
what I mean.
Like,
it's
the band, like
insane.
We grew up looking up to Alexis on Fire, like hearing their songs literally in video games. They were like that Southern Ontario band that was driving post-hardcore, like almost in its entirety at the time. Obviously, had like Billy Talent and stuff, respectfully, but like they were always a band we looked up to. Like I know Ryan Hack, who aren't here. Like when we were like. In high school, they went to like the college, Frosh, to like make sure they could go see Alexis and like
free show.
Yeah. We've been like following them like our whole lives. So we reached out to Julius. I want to say 20.
Who's Julius?
Julius Buddy. Sorry, he's the producer of Watch Out Crisis.
Okay, so
he did a Sometimes City and Color record as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so he had like a big hand.
Very credited.
He 2-time Juno Award winner. So that's who we recorded with as well, was Julius and Wade.
Yeah, that's fucking sick.
So yeah, to give credit to Jules as well, he's an awesome lad. But sorry, where was I going with that?
You reached out to him.
Him so we recorded our EP for Judgement in 2019 with Sam Guayana, and we reached out to Julius to record that record with him, and he didn't get back. So we did this whole thing with Sam, got the mixes back, whatever, and then about 6 months later, we randomly get an email from Julius.
I was like, yeah, what does that look like? An email you just sent?
Yeah,
We
just fired it off.
Yeah.
Like just like shot in the dark, kind of like, yo, like we know you produce these records, we're huge fans. Like, listen to our demos and like whatever. We'd already recorded that music by the time, but he's like, I'm interested in working in the future with you guys, and we're like, oh hell yeah.
Sick.
And then we went out to the studio. It was like a 2-hour interview. It felt like wasn't saying much. He's a quiet guy.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And like we've all been such close friends, so like we just start like joking around and stuff. And he kind of warmed up to us a little bit.
Yeah.
Craziest fucking scenario ever, because it just felt so strange. And you're like, does he like us? Like, whatever, are we in? Like, give him a thumbs up, thumbs down. And now we're boys. Like, we go to his Christmas parties. Like, so he's a G. Wade came into play though. Like, we were to just go record our last single, and he was like, hold on, Wade wants to start like producing and stuff again. Let me get him like kind of like in contact.
Oh, that was probably like a moment where you're like, let's
you're like, oh
go.
shit, like
We
that's
just hit
insane.
it hard as fuck.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we were getting ready to record Crashing Down, and then all of a sudden
He's like, wait.
Yeah, we got
hold
an
on.
email saying, hey, Wade wants to be a part of this.
He actually asked, would you guys mind if Wade was a part of this? And we were
Are you crazy?
Actually, no, we're good.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Nah, exactly. No, yeah, we're good. Yeah.
What a moment, eh? Like
That's awesome.
It's so huge. Like, I love to see that. I just love to see people win, and like just to see that. And Wade is like a super cool guy from the limited interaction I've had with him. Like he's just super down to earth, chill. Like, you know, rides motorcycles and fucking.
We just saw him yesterday.
I seen you on his story. I was like, oh, they're in fucking St. Catharines.
Yeah.
They're definitely coming on the pod. You know?
He hooked us up, man. Like, because we're playing tonight in St. Catharines at the same place at the warehouse.
Oh yeah.
So I saw that he was doing a DJ set, and I hit him up, and I was like, yo, maybe I'll come up the day before and like catch a set and whatever. He's like, hell yeah, like let's catch up, like come down. So I came with Cam, and then my little brother Lucas and his buddy Nick.
Oh, Lucas and Nick.
Yeah, they're out on a drive right now in
Yeah.
the truck doing something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They'll come back and pick us up. You
Yeah.
guys will probably meet them eventually. But yeah, he hooked us up because I don't know what I was thinking, but we didn't buy tickets.
Yeah.
This is in St. Catharines, his hometown.
Sold out.
It's sold out.
It's super sold out.
So I was like, yo, what are the odds like we get on guest list? And he's like, he was in like Texas, and yesterday morning when he was, you know, coming here to do the DJ set, but yesterday morning he was in Texas. Like, he's like, I'm about to get on the plane to come to St. Catharines. Yeah. I'm like, he's like, I'll ask and see what's good, and he ended up hooking it up.
Sure enough. Let's go. Wade come through clutch. That's fucking sick.
Wow.
Is he gonna come to the show tonight? Do you know?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Just, we were talking to him last night, and he kind of had to dip off because he was
Has he seen you guys play yet?
No, not live. Not live.
That's cool.
He's
I'm
seen
excited to
videos
see you
and
guys
stuff.
Play. I'm pumped. It's gonna be packed in there. I can tell. I have a feeling it's gonna be a good show.
He watched a video of us play "This Could Be Anywhere in the World," and he was like pretty stoked on it. So
Is that the
was-
one you
that was
posted on
kinda
YouTube?
Cool.
Instagram,
Yeah.
we play that cover at shows. It's one of our like frequents now.
You playing this night?
Uh,
I don't know.
Well, we can say.
Yeah, this isn't gonna come out.
true.
Yeah, it's about a week away.
yeah, we're playing
Fuck
This Could Be
yeah,
Anywhere
let's
in the
go.
World. That's
Fuck
like
yeah.
our go-to cover forever. It was A Boy Brush Shred, Living in Black and White
Nice.
by Under Oath for like time.
Yeah.
And then we just started mixing in This Could Be Anywhere. We played it in Oshawa, in our hometown. Everyone was going nuts.
Yeah.
So the video, like, it was sick, and like it was cool to see him like the video, comment on it, kind of thing. Like, it's just sick to have that relationship. It feels like otherworldly. It doesn't feel real. It's like, oh shit, like we just saw Wade last night and we worked with him in the studio, but then it's just like he's still kind of like on that pedestal in a way. Like
100%.
you're someone that we look up to.
It's cool that when like these people like I said, like I mean I think you guys are gonna be fucking superstars for sure. So it's
Thank
cool,
you,
like
bro.
doing this interview, and it's cool. Like I said, when I got that Second Harbor Xavier feature, I'm like, how the fuck does this even work? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just a good feeling because all this shit, everything just takes so much time, and you like. If I know you really believe in yourselves, and I believe in myself, but there's always that little part in your head where it's just like, fuck, this is a lot of work. Like, I'm tired, you know what I'm saying? And it's like when things like that happen, like, you just feel fucking recharged. It's just a good feeling, you know what I'm saying? So it's awesome, man. I'm stoked to see you guys play tonight. How you guys familiar with Other Wives at all too? You listen to their shit now?
Yeah,
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
They're sick too. It's just like, it's a good.
Shout out Zach and all the other bandmates. You know, shout out everyone on Other Wives.
It's gonna be a
Great.
great show. Do you have any other questions, bro?
Yeah. What is the one question? Like, I know lots of people that they like. There's people that have goals. They want to play stadiums, and then I have friends and they want to play. They just want to work their construction job and play little shows, and like that's what they're content with. They don't want to play stadiums. Like they really don't. What is the goals with the band? Where do you go? Where do you see yourself, like the band going, and where do you want to go with this? Do you want to play stadiums, or would you?
I think like the main thing is we want to be one of the biggest bands, you know, to come out from our neck of the woods, sort of thing, you know. There isn't that much like post-hardcore or heavy sort of representation from Oshawa, so I think that in itself is really cool. And then also like we make music about certain topics for people who are struggling with certain topics.
I love
you know
that.
Being able to perform those songs, you know, for those people everywhere and anywhere that'll allow us, I think is, you know, that is very fulfilling in itself.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, I could go the easy route and just be like, yeah, we want to make money off of this. but on the real, you know, I want to continue making music for people who, you know, not so much need, but like really appreciate and, you know, sort of just give back that energy and that love and spreading that love to the rest of the world, and, you know.
I always want to shoot as high as I can with like the things that I do. I used to say, like, as long as we can make money off this, like enough money where we can like live our lives. We don't have to be like super rich, like something where we can just quit our day jobs and just play music. Oof. That would be ideal, right?
Be crazy.
But I think that at this point now, like, I see so much more in us than just that. I see like maybe us doing like these huge like stadiums one day.
I can see it.
But I would ideally like to be not just like a product of like Oshawa, but like a product of Canada.
Yeah.
And be like, yo,
one of the biggest groups from Canada.
Like
period.
the Tragically Hip, like Alexis on Fire, like
household names,
Billy Talent, you know, Simple Plan, Sum 41. Like, I want to be in that.
Yeah, literally.
I want to be in that conversation. Not because of the fame, but more so because of the legacy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care to be known like walking down the street and people just like coming up to me. Like, that's not what I want. My goal, and I think all of our goals, is to like make music for a living, which is like what we all plan on doing and what we love to do. Help people get through their scenarios with our music, which is like the deepest reason why we do any of this. But then to also just make people proud to be a part of like this scene in Canada. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just, well,
I think I can.
The word of Judgement, man.
It's super, and I think you'd probably agree that like no matter the size of the room, like no matter anything like that, it's just like to just see people enjoying like something you've worked so hard to make and like spent money on and like cried over and just like really toiled over, to like just see people enjoy that to me is like the craziest thing. Because like I've had limited shows, well, not limited shows, we've done like a few shows. Like I started 2 years ago, and we've played in front of in Warehouse, we did like 136, and then we did a spot with Other Wives, of course, but we did a spot in Welland for like 20 people. You know, we did Warehouse in March for 40, and like no matter the size, I just get this rush where I'm just like, I just love performing. It's my fucking favorite thing. Like I used to do drugs, I used to do all types of shit, like and it's my favorite feeling in the world is just performing and just seeing people like not even looking up at you like you're some type of god or some shit, because I don't fuck with that. I just to see people really in that atmosphere, in that vibe, you know, it's just fucking intoxicating. And I think that's why we started this brand, because it was like an umbrella to everything, where it's like we can go film these shows, we can have these podcasts, and like it can all be like under one umbrella. And music is just such a fucking, it's a beautiful thing. Like what do you guys have planned for like full length album? What's that looking like? Anything?
I was just gonna say real quick though, like what you said, that's the beauty of it, man. And I think it is a big thing with music. Like it doesn't matter if you're playing to fucking 4 people, if you're playing to a couple hundred, 1,000. Like you bring that energy and you connect with the people in that room, and that's what makes it so special. So like, man, I do totally fuck with what you're saying.
The thing is too, is it's like on that note too, it's like I'm also at a point too where like, yo, I have a career, I don't even give a fuck about making money like that, for real, because like I love cutting hair. That was my first love, and then music became like my second, and like now my first love. But it's like whether it ever becomes like, you know, like stadiums, sick, be sick, but like even if it never becomes that, just to like put those pictures on the wall of your cover art and shit, and just like to just see it like manifest and work with people that you fuck with, like it's just such a cool thing. Like it's beautiful, bro. It's beautiful. And like I can't even believe we have you guys on the pod, like, you know what I'm saying? That's like, I'm stoked about it, for real.
Appreciate you guys, your time,
dude. Thank you, bro.
This is amazing.
What about that album though?
So we've been doing singles. So we've had 3 singles all this year. Crashing Down, Faceless, and then we have another one. We just got the first mix back actually legit today. So
fuck yeah.
That's in the works right now. Yeah, we actually don't have an official 100% name yet.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress at the moment. Yeah, and like that's not even a bad way to put it. It's a work in progress. So those are our 3 singles. We just are getting down to the nitty gritty. We're like talking about writing a 4-track EP right now. So 4 new songs, and those will likely be seen in 2024. So
cool.
I was gonna say too, I almost more like the EP vibe. Like as far as like I have 3 EPs out now, and they're just cool because they're like mini stories. And it was funny because I was talking to Xavier about how to, because he's gonna be on this album, so it's cool because he can help me like kind of release it in like proper strategy. Yeah. Because the way I look at albums and the way I look at shit is like, I want to give it to people all at once with no singles, so it's all a story all in a row, and like you can listen to it like that. But he's like, man, like the way to do it is with the singles. The singles is how you get their attention, because you can have one single that pumps out for like a while. You know, you have so much promo from it, as opposed to like, he's like, think of an album like a series of books, you know? Like if somebody told you to like read the Bible or read one Harry Potter book, it'd be way easier to read the one Harry Potter book, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But artistically, I feel like, I don't know if you guys can agree, but you almost don't want to let what do you guys think about singles? Because I like that fucks me up, because I'm like, oh, like I'm gonna release an album of 12 songs, 7 of them are gonna be out, you know, there's only gonna be a few songs left, but that's the way you're actually supposed to do it.
Yeah, to me, singles are like cool to have like a little snapshot of like where we're at that particular moment. The one issue that I kind of get a lot is that when you do singles, like they're very different vibes most of the time, and they sound entirely different, and then having to play that in a set kind of gives a little bit of whiplash. I love EPs, I love albums, I love having something that's just cohesive,
start to finish.
Yeah, you know, it's all not so much there's like a theme or it's like a concept record, but like it's just musically just flows together and it's cohesive sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. I'm definitely more on the side of EPs, but I get also that, you know, I have a short attention span, so I'll
Yeah.
most likely just hit,
The commercial
fucking
side
next
of things,
until there's
right?
one that I'm like, oh, that one's cool.
Yeah.
Within the first 5 seconds. Which
Especially when people don't know you, you know what I mean? And you throw a big thing at them. They're
Yeah.
just kind of like, well, like they don't see what you see in it yet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's probably where like singles help to just showcase what you have before you give them like a full project.
It boosts albums though, especially like I've made music for a long time, so I've always like I've been lucky to like put my music where I'll always have an album ready for the next year, and then I'll drop like singles throughout the year, and know like I'll be holding on for it for a year to drop it the next year, and then I always know I have a release every year.
So
And the singles go up, but usually the ones that like I don't drop get the more views than the ones that I do drop.
interesting.
I've seen it differently with other people, just me personally. So.
I was just gonna say, because you wait like a year to release like the EP, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever get to that like time where you're gonna release it and you're like, because you've listened to the song so much and
Yeah.
maybe your style has changed, where you're kind of like, damn, maybe I don't even fuck with these songs like that anymore.
That's how I feel sometimes.
No, like I don't get to that point. Like maybe other people have done that probably might, but like I just like I want to drop it all, and like I love my music, like
Right.
you know what I mean. Like I became one of my biggest fans, which is like probably like where I've thought like, oh, like now I listen to my music more than anyone, like any other music. Like,
Right.
now, like especially recently, I've been like,
Gotcha.
wow, I'm listening to my music like every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it was like my favorite, like it's like one of my songs are now my favorite songs.
Well, that's
Which is
the
crazy.
beauty of it, man.
Yeah.
That's almost why you make music, is
Yeah.
because you feel like, something's missing, and maybe I can fill this void for
real.
like yourself, kinda.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and then it just kind of snowballs from there, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, my favorite thing about music is that it's never ending, right? That's what I love so much about it, because I've always been somebody who just like craves more and more. You know what I'm saying? Like just craves more, and like it's just beautiful to do music because there's never a last album until it's it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and then what a beautiful moment that will be too in and of itself. Sad, but still beautiful, where it's like 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line when you're like, that's it. And then you're sitting there with your kids and you're like, Dad's going to press play from the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just like, it's just such a beautiful thing. And it's cool because it really does bring people together more than anything else, I would say.
Yeah, for real.
Dude,
You know?
100%. Every community is almost driven in some way from music. Like, it's a shared
100%.
relationship that everyone has, regardless if you like mess with a genre or not. Like, whoever's in that community, that's like what they all thrive on. That's how people make connections, right? Like with one another, at least in so many different ways. Yeah. It's so cool to see, because it's like, if you're a music lover, it doesn't really matter what you like. It's just like that's the shared interest, and it's like you can just endlessly talk about it and just like thrive with it. You know what I mean? It's cool as fuck.
What's your guys' favorite show so far to date where you played this show and you were just like, this is fucked? Do you guys have one?
Yeah, honestly, like we play some sick shows in our hometown, not
Big
gonna lie, but
shows.
like Kill Room in Hamilton, we played the skate park.
That
and it
looks
was like
fucking
packed.
sick.
I mean, rest in peace. Like, unfortunately, they, from what I'm understanding, like I believe it's closed down. Like the city shut it down,
that
unfortunately, and that was such a
just broke your heart.
yeah. That was such a
I was
sick
like, I wanted to
DIY.
play that. I was like, my music's not like that,
thought it
but
was dope, but I never went. Like I have all these friends that would go like all the time. I never went to the Kill Room.
Mhm.
Like I love skateboarding too, so I like definitely would have went there. You know,
Bro,
like I've skated in there. I never went in there to like do that, like for the show, and like, but like fucking I know like in recent times like my friends were going and they're like there's a lot of demonic like shit going on in here and shit. Like no,
Dude,
they
that
were
was
like
just
there was
us
like
yelling.
maybe the
get
screamo
Yeah, why is that
shit.
skate park demonic, bro? No,
No, I never went there though, so I can't really say
Yeah.
like, but like, yeah.
no, dude, it was such a sick vibe. So like we played on the owner's birthday, like we had posters up, like whatever, like they had a skate comp. It was packed in there regardless. Like it was nice. My brother lives in St. Catharines with his wife, so it's nice to have some family and friends and stuff there. We played the bill with like a couple other sick bands and our boys in Nightwell, and like it was just a sick all around show. Like the vibe was.
Did you play with Conversation?
We did. That was a
Yeah,
separate
yeah.
show though. We played
Okay,
with Conversation
yeah.
a handful of times. Like they're also like
Yeah, they're
good
dope
boys.
too.
They're
Yeah,
sick.
they were sick. They were just playing with Other Wives actually last time they were at Warehouse.
Mhm.
I want to ask you guys a question because I'm thinking about moving to Toronto to you know, he's already shaking his head. He's already shaking his head for two reasons. Number one being, I mean, I believe that that's probably the biggest music scene in Canada besides Montreal. And number two being, I'm a barber and I can make hella fucking money out there too. So what do you guys think about where you're from determining your level of success? And do you think that moving somewhere, because a lot of people do the LA thing, you know, a lot of people do the Toronto thing. Do you think it makes a difference at all? Or do you think you can see a very high level of success from a random place like fucking St. Catharines or Welland?
I personally, I think that it does make a difference to move to the big city where more eyes are on you. But that being said, it's still 100% possible that
100%.
People
I
do
agree.
get big out of the small cities. It's just, I think that there's not as much eyes on that city, so not as many people are looking at you. Mm-hmm. They're looking over here, but the thing is about over here is that there's a hell of a lot more to look at.
A lot more competition.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I would say if it makes sense for you, like how you're saying it, like it's the big music city, like also with your other line of work, as long as you like fucking,
and it's a fucking vibe
if
too.
you like
still.
if you like walking,
yeah, I can't take the Mustang
then I
around
would-
Toronto.
No.
It's gonna be a fucking nightmare, eh?
No, there's no chance.
No.
If you like walking, then
That's
then
your
it's
spot.
the place for you.
I'll sell
There's
the Mustang
lots-
for more skateboards.
There's lots to do down there. Like it's
yeah.
the scene's alive, man. Like it's pretty crazy.
Bumping down there, bro. Like I just like, and part of me
You know more
too.
about Toronto.
Part of me too is like,
I love the city vibe too. man.
yeah. Part of me too is just like, I just want a change of scenery too. Like I just want to change the scenery type shit. That's a big part of it. I think that's a big part of where inspiration comes from too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, the literal armpit of Ontario. Like, I just I don't know. It's something I was like, I'm gonna ask these guys what they think about that, because I've asked a bunch of people. It's differing answers. At the end of the day, it comes down to you. But
Yeah, I was gonna say for your question, like in almost contrast to Evangelic, I think with the realm that digital media is in,
Yeah.
there's a lot more opportunity for smaller artists.
Yeah.
Because it's just about making content, whether it doesn't matter where you are, that
Yeah.
resonates with people, and that can bring you out of that small city.
yeah,
But you have to make content that resonates with one
and
another.
a lot too.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how fucking mentally straining that shit is, bro.
Yeah,
oh
dude.
my god. Like, and then imagine on top of that having a podcast, like you guys have one, and then pumping fucking content for that, and then we also have like an internet show component to this.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
Like just a vlog, but we call it an internet show. And sometimes I'm just like, I feel sick looking at my phone. Real
Yeah.
shit. I'm just like, fuck this. This sucks.
Bro, it's a grind, but like it's like one of those things where like you're absolutely ripping. Sorry, bro. When you're like ripping all this content, you're doing all these things, you're making music, you're doing this podcast, and you're like, holy fuck, like I'm so fucking busy, I'm gonna die. And then all of a sudden you look back a year later at all the shit you did, and you're like, bro, that like is amazing. Like that was beautiful. Like there was like so
And you
much
can
going
look,
on.
yeah, exactly. A big part of it too is like at the end of the year, like last year around New Year's, I was like, I made this show reel. Of like the dopest like footage we shot that year. Not for sincerely, but just for Caleb Fast. Like my show reel. And I used this MGK song, and it was called Last November. I don't know if you guys are MGK fans. I don't think so, because you get.
That's the goat.
Yeah, I seen that one thing, and I was like, that's so funny. I'm gonna bug them about that.
Yeah.
That was so fucking funny.
hearing
I won't lie, like I am an MGK fan. Like he's definitely weird now and is like super like weird. But,
Bro,
like,
I personally,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
real quick. I don't personally hate anybody like how some people hate people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't mess with his music particularly, but I don't hate the guy. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
that was
some
just
people
good
are
content.
nuts.
That was just great
I'm
content.
just a petty motherfucker, so I just like I just hate sometimes.
I can't even gatekeep like nothing. Like I think his fucking pop punk album was honestly fucking cool. Like his first one, I don't what is it, Tickets to My
Tickets, yeah.
Downfall. Was that like,
Yeah.
dude? There's regardless if like you want to shit on it or not, like those songs are so fucking catchy. A lot of them, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
hear them on the radio and like you're going about your day, and all of a sudden you're like, fell in love with an emo. I don't fucking know what song
Yeah.
you wanted. Like that one's not even off the record.
With Willow.
But still, like you're just like, yo,
Willow.
it gets stuck in your head. Like it's getting kids into the genre.
Yeah.
He wants to talk about how revolutionary it is, but
Yo, that's facts. That's actually facts. I honestly do think that him switching to pop punk was revolutionary for the genre.
yeah.
Actually,
No, like
regardless
yeah,
if you like
100%
him
it
or
was.
not,
100% it
pop
was.
punk was dying. It was literally limping on the floor.
Yeah.
And MGK decided
Like a savior.
to make a 180 and then switch genres. Dude, whether you love him or you hate him, he still brought attention
Yeah.
to that music.
Yeah.
For people to be like, MGK's not pop punk. Real Friends is pop punk, and then all of a sudden, Real Friends is just
Streams up.
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So I think it helped the pop punk scene,
Yeah.
and like honestly, was kind of like a huge kick in the ass to the emo like sort of revival stuff, like Paramore and like all this stuff. It sounds crazy, but if you really think about it, he was kind of like, I'm not saying like he did it all, but I'm saying that he kick-started it all.
100%.
You know what I mean?
He was the catalyst for it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he's the okay.
But yeah, like he said, like looking back on like that end of the year, everything you did, I made that show reel and I used that last November song, and I was just like, fuck, like this was a crazy year, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, it's cool to just look back on everything you've made, and that is at the end of the day the beauty of it, right? What are your guys' favorite songs you guys have made so far? Well, what are we thinking? Each one of you, what's the favorite one you made?
Child.
Yeah, which one is like you
I
said?
got favorites.
I was watching that interview and you guys were like, the band is our baby, and we're all just old married dudes. I was like, that's funny as fuck.
My favorite one that I've recorded on, that I've been a part of is Faceless.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I love a good fast song.
It's a ripper.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
I love hectic, chaotic songs.
Yeah.
My favorite Judgement song though is Define Alive.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time. It feels very Pierce the Veil to me.
Right.
And I grew high school was like a lot of Pierce the Veil and All Time Low.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like Pierce the Veil, but not Pierce the Veil.
Yeah,
it
like still
was
a good
refreshing.
Yeah.
It was refreshing, and I like when I first heard that, like I just gravitated towards it. And I was like, this is it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. So Faceless is my favorite one that
you've worked
been a
on?
part of, but Define Alive.
I
is
love
my favorite
Faceless,
overall,
yeah.
I mean, I kind of have like two-way street here. Like Terra Firma, that was our first single that we ever put out as Judgment, and like that song, like specifically off of our 5-track EP, like that was a song that like we all like, yo, this one just feels really good, has that energy, has a vibe, like, so that was why it was the first song that we dropped, and I think that was my favorite. But
what does that mean, by the way, terra firma?
It means it's an old Latin word, and it basically means solid ground separate from the sea and the sky.
Oh, that's fucking
and that's like basically what the song is about. We don't have to get so into it, but the song's literally about like dirt, but in this sense of like people trying to keep you on the ground, and the ground being like this really safe place. Versus like flying and like going out and doing the things that you want to do that may be risky.
Spreading your wings.
Yeah.
But people kind of want to keep you down. Sometimes it's for, negative reasons, like, yo, fuck this guy, I don't want him to be successful. But sometimes it's like, could be your parents being like, like, that's cool, but like, what if that doesn't work? And then now what's your life like? Then you got to get another job and da da da. But that
to be jaded as well.
that song is just about like that. It's just like spreading your wings and flying, and like kind of leaving those people behind, kind of deal.
I did have like one more quick, but then live, my favorite track that we play is Fading. It's like our least streamed song, bro, but like that song literally is like in every one of our sets. I find it's like a pivotal moment where like the energy shifts. You have people just like get way more stoked on it. There's a lot of energy in it. It's a little dark. Like that song's, it's just so much fun, and we've been playing it the longest as Judgment as well. That was our first track.
First one we wrote.
First one we wrote as Judgment. First one we recorded, and then it was like last song shifted into the EP. But anyways, yeah, man, I love that track live.
Yeah.
It feels like fading is like the transition between a gig and then the show.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
some- there's
100%.
some things that
The
we-
main
Are you guys
event.
coming tonight?
Fuck yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
then maybe you'll feel that vibe. Like, let us
I got
know,
my
like
tickets,
afterwards.
fuck
Yeah.
You'll see what we mean. You'll see what we mean.
Yeah. For me, man, favorite song we recorded. I mean, the ones with Wade were sick just because of that whole experience, you know.
Yeah.
I think like maybe it was November, just because it had such a different. It was so different from how we did everything else.
Yeah.
So basically, that was it was on our EP. It was the last track of our EP, and it was the last track that we recorded that day. And the only thing, like, we had all the instrumentals for it, but all I had was the chorus, and that's it, like, lyric wise.
Yeah.
And like I said, this the song is about domestic violence, right? Which I've never been like directly impacted by.
Which is good.
I know people that have.
Yeah.
And then it was just kind of like doing a lot of research on like interviews of people who have been, and like them talking about these certain experiences, these feelings they had, the situations that would happen, like all this kind of stuff. So I had a bunch of notes, but I couldn't like really click to make it like,
You have a whole full song.
yeah. So I asked like Cam, because Cam writes as well, you know, if he could help out. So he wrote a couple things down, which just sparked like something in me.
Yeah.
And then the next day, we went to the studio, and there was a coffee shop like attached to the studio, kind of,
Yeah.
that we went to in the morning. And I sat down, I put my headphones in, and I wrote the song in like 20 minutes. And I was like, okay, let's go. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's done.
Sometimes it comes together like that.
I just
Sometimes
had
it
like
comes together
something.
like that.
It went from like nothing to like
The full thing's
everything.
done. Yeah.
You know? So
And yeah, it's crazy too, because like when you're writing a song on something as serious as domestic violence, you don't want it to feel forced, you don't want it to feel corny, you don't want
Yeah.
it. So like how naturally and organic that came together. And I think organic is a really great term. And fucking just split second, literally 20 minutes before, and like how well that song comes across. I feel like we get comments and stuff on it, but regardless, like, you know what I mean? Like when you're talking on subjects that serious, like,
Yeah.
I
It's nice to
literally
have that
said
backing.
like, we're not gonna put this out if this feels like inauthentic or cheesy or anything like that.
Yeah.
We'll just scrap it and
Because
make
that's
it
a
a
big
4
thing.
track.
That's a big thing. I see sometimes like where I see some of these guys make that move and towards like the mental health thing, and I'm like, oof, you know what I mean? Like, because sometimes you can just tell it's to like get
It's-
views, and
yeah.
it's just like, yeah, it just feels wrong. You know what I mean?
I think that's a big thing about art too. Like, you know what I mean? It's like everyone will say like some artists sold out, and it's like as long as it's authentic to you,
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel forced, then by all means,
It's not
you
going to
know?
feel forced to other people then either.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it too, right? Where it's like,
And that's a fine line. Like it's
Yeah.
fucking hard to do. So, like, you know, so
yeah,
We also like, I know exactly what you're saying, like, because a lot of people will kind of like capitalize on other people's weaknesses to like keep relevant or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, we also have done things in the past and still like do things actively to help these like mental health. We've done like, I don't know, 4 or 5 like different fundraisers for mental
That's
health.
awesome.
We've like raised money for like care packages for like homeless people in our area.
That's
Like we
awesome, yeah.
actively do things. It's not just like, oh cool, like
the commercial side of it. Yeah,
we actually put in the work. And it's not even really to show people like, yo, look what we're doing. It's more so to be like, we give a fuck about this. This is
Yeah.
not fake. Like we actually care about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
no, that is beautiful, and like I said, right? Like you can tell when something's authentic and when it's not. Like I remember seeing this one guy on TikTok, and he made this song like when the war kicked off in like Russia and Ukraine, and it was just so. And he was like, "So there's war going on in Russia and Ukraine. Why do we have to be this way?" And then and it was just like, but what? Like it's just so random. It's just so clickbaity. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And you know what? The other thing too is I've listened to that EP 3 or 4 times, and I didn't even know that's what the inspiration behind the song was.
Yeah.
So that's
Mhm.
another reason why you can tell it's like that's like an actual thing that holds a weight in your heart, right? Because it's like it's not super flashy in the song either, right?
And it is cool, like I mean, in a way, like to take away from the social issues, but like a song and its lyrics can be interpreted to whatever you're going through.
Yeah, I was just
like,
vibing
you
to
know
it.
what
I was
I
like, I
mean?
knew it was a deeper one type
Yeah.
shit, but I was working out, like I wasn't, I was just feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah, man, 100%.
That's awesome. You got a last question? I have one last one, and then I'm fucking super happy with that.
Let me look at my thing real quick.
Yeah. Sometimes
bro. No,
that's
all good,
okay,
all
bro.
good.
That's okay.
You asked your question while I'm looking.
All right, I was just gonna say kind of a basic question, but what is some you got yours?
No,
What is some what's the biggest thing you've learned so far in your guys' music career that you can give advice to young people starting out in this type of shit that really are serious about it, want to make a go of it for the artistic side of it, the real like I just want to create shit, but I don't like know how, or I'm a little worried about like what people will think type shit. What's the number one thing you've learned so far?
Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Just let it come naturally. Just let it flow. Again, if you force it, people will feel that it's forced and they'll know that it's forced.
Yeah.
People will gravitate towards people who are authentic.
Yeah.
So be as authentic as you can be and fucking give her.
Everything's energy, right? Like I mean I like to say that too, where it's just like you can tell when people are genuine and when they put it's just right away. Like especially for some people, they have like a higher like instinct towards that, So that is great. That is great advice.
Yeah, to go off what Lee's saying too, I feel the same way. It's like art is subjective. You can't, whatever's true to you and that makes you feel like creative, passionate, inspired, by all means, like do it, because like you can't guarantee that you're going to write a song and everyone's going to love it. But as long as that you internally can feel like, yo, I came to terms with my emotions, I'm having fun with this, then run with it. Like, it doesn't matter what other people think, and that's like a really hard barrier to get over. There's like a glass ceiling with everyone. Everyone has it in their brain, you know what I mean? You have to work past those things. So I think it's just like, as long as you're being true to yourself, it's authentic to you, then it shouldn't matter what anyone else thinks, and like hopefully you can take that forward,
Yeah, exactly.
It's also just hard to separate yourself from your work.
Yeah.
Especially when it's something so personal. Like, that's a literal part of you, a part of your life that you're getting ready to show to the world, you know? And then you start to think, like, should I be saying this stuff, like, So
sometimes it's some of my shit, like I've basically like name dropped girls in songs before, and I'm like, oh
I've almost done that,
I'm
so
like,
don't.
my first song that hit, I'm pretty ruthless with it, like not in like a diss way, but in like a reminisce way. And I remember that
was poetic, bro.
Yeah, that was actually, that came right off the tongue, but fucking I had this song Dirty Dancing, and right before the beat hits, I'm like, loving you was the cure, and then in that radio effect, it's like loving Jay was the cure, and everybody from my hometown was like, he's talking about, you know what I'm saying? And it just, but I knew too that it was smart. It was like a smart commercial move too, because I was like, the first people that are gonna listen to this are like people I know, so I like, might as well give them something to remember.
I've literally done that, and this is also gonna tie into like what my answer is, but I used to rap in high school. And one of the tracks that got the biggest, it was whatever the song was about, whatever it was about. But the person, I didn't name drop, but I like said the kind of car that his dad had in the driveway. And like everybody knew who it was after that. And because it's a very like specific car that like not a lot of people got or whatever.
No one would have besides this one guy that everybody knew.
Right. Yeah. Yo, that's about you. No, it's about you. No, but I did that because of the same reason. I'm like, oh, maybe it'll like.
It'll hit. It'll hit because the first thing you drop. This is actually a little. I'll give a little advice too. The first thing you drop, don't make it like forced or anything, but try to, because the first people that are gonna listen to it are gonna be your friends and people that you know in your city. So like try to say something or do something. This is my advice. I think this will work.
That's good. I think this is good advice.
I think because it worked for me. The
like
11 J was a cure thing worked for me. Like that was the first song I ever did that hit over 1,000 streams, like all organic. And I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, try to just like he said with the car thing, like I said with the J thing, like. Doesn't have to be super, like, you don't have to, like, fucking put yourself on blast, but, like, try to just do something kind of sneaky that, like, people will be like, oh, shit, is he talking about that? Because then that's word of mouth, right?
It's
and that's
just something relatable for, like, your friends.
For
because,
your circle, for
like you
your
said,
community, yeah.
they're the first ones that are going to listen to your first track.
They're
you
the
know?
first ones because they're gonna listen to the first one.
Yeah.
Believe that.
Yeah.
They're gonna listen to the first one.
Does it count if it's an Easter egg in like your artwork?
Yeah, I think so for sure. I think it counts for sure. Yeah. Oh, like an actual in like the actual cover art type shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be sick too. Yeah, that's neat. That's even dope. But her face is blacked out. Yeah, that's classic.
No, not even. It's just like your old IG display pictures.
It's
Yeah.
just like the circle with the slash through it, but you could still see her
Like think
face.
about that 100% because people are gonna be like, yo, that's him and fucking Jessica. What the fuck? I'm click. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you just got to be kind of rude. You got to be kind of reckless with it. I'm not gonna lie. You gotta give no fucks.
So yeah, real quick. So my answer to your question, I've been asked this question a few times, and I find that like my answer kind of changes every time. And I don't know. I don't think it's like what's most important. I think it's more so like all of the things that I've been saying. You know what I mean? Are all important, but. This time around, just to like play off of kind of what they said, put out your music.
Yeah.
Like, it's so like people get so caught up in like themselves and like what are other people gonna think, and you know, it's almost like you think the whole world is gonna hear it, but realistically, if it's your first song, there's probably gonna be 10 people that listen to it.
You'd be lucky for 100.
So, but it's just. Get it out there because you're never going to know like you're never going to learn what people actually want from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in this business, it's kind of depending on where you want to go with it, but it has to be for yourself, but then it does have to be for other people as well. Like it realistically, if your fans don't like it, then you don't have any fans, you know what I mean? So I think if you just like put music out, gauge like was that okay, like what are people thinking about that, don't take it too much to heart, but just really think about it and be like, maybe next time, you know, some people have been saying you know, maybe I should use a certain effect in this part, maybe the next time you use that effect or whatever. I think just like suck it up,
field, right?
put your music out and
try to make it good quality.
Play the field, you know.
I think that's all facets, like to that extent or like degree as well. It's like if you don't release music, you'll never be able to trial and error, like how you're fucking releasing the music, how people are receiving it,
what you sound like.
Yeah, like how you're even like, because every release that we've done, like you grow as a person. Every release is a little different. Like you just learn so much, and it is trial and error. So it is a big thing. Like release it, and there's 1,000 memes like about like artists like, yo, I wrote my EP last year, it's dropping, like 5 years later still dropping, like you know what I mean, like whatever. So like that's huge.
Yeah, and kind of also on top of that, kind of think from the realm of like everybody, like let's say everybody will listen but nobody really cares, you know what I'm saying, until you're at a certain point when like we're all sitting here talking about Machine Gun Kelly and like we don't know him, we've never met him, you know what I'm saying. So it's like take it with a grain of salt, take it seriously, but put it out there and fucking also take a chance.
What does it change for MGK if people hate if people, but I'm just saying, what does it change if people hate him or not? Like what
nothing, he's still rich as fuck.
Exactly. But
we're passionate about MGK.
Still gonna put out his music, so at the end of the day, like if people are hating, it doesn't really matter, you know what I mean?
Publicity is good publicity, like that vibe.
You know what I mean? Before he rapped, so he was in a band before he ever rapped, you know what I mean? Like,
I didn't even know that. I know he did like Sleeping with Sirens, he ripped a cover with
fuck yeah he did.
Quinn,
fuck yeah he did.
I believe he was a drummer.
Really, eh?
Yeah, if I'm correct, I can't remember exactly.
I know in like the Motley Crue movie, he was the drummer in the film. Though.
Listen, he was good in that. He was great in that. He was awesome in that.
And, like,
he was a very convincing drug user for sure. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the drummer's name? It's
Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee, yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Tommy Lee, Tommy Lee and his wife has a podcast, and so MGK and him have done a bunch of podcasts like together, and they like, I think the first time they met was like whatever for the movie and stuff, and then like not long after the movie, he came on to his wife's podcast, and then like they've hung out a bunch of times, and like if you guys should watch that because it's super funny. They're like like very similar people. Like, and Andy played him in the movie. 'Cause it was kind of dope. Yeah.
That's sick.
Oh yeah. So my last question I have for you guys is what is one, like, we know you guys have told us like why you make music, but who is one main like big inspiration like for your music, each one of you?
Oh shit. Fuck. Someone take this for a second. I gotta think about this one. There's a lot.
Shout out, mom. No.
Hey, mom.
Dude, like over the course of time, like I've been so inspired by so many different albums and artists. Like, you know what I mean? It does really come back down to the early 2000s, and I could list 100 bands that would be like this and this and this, but like I have to bring it down to two because I constantly come back to them, and it influences like all my bass lines, and like just inspires me to play all the time. Rise Against, Joe Principe, their bassist.
Okay.
Siren Songs of the Counterculture. It's like one of my favorite albums of all time. I will go through that top to bottom, like learn all the bass lines or like replay them, whatever. And then also Billy Talent.
Yeah.
Billy Talent
Shout
one,
out Billy
like,
Talent.
yeah, dude, like 100%, like all that stuff is just like resonates with me still to this day. Like if I'm ever like stuck, I'll just go back and play songs off those albums, like things like that. So
Yeah, what Cam said about like, you know, so many different influences like in your life and stuff, and they change all the time, but I think I could narrow them down to maybe two as well.
Okay.
I think specifically like 3 Days Grace, like older 3 Days Grace, and Adam Gontier, like their original singer as a whole,
Yeah.
I think was a huge influence. I know was a huge influence on me, and like even just getting me into rock music to begin with.
Yeah.
Like I know every 3 Days Grace song like front to back, like nothing, you know. So he's somebody that I've looked up to, just songwriting wise and even structure wise. Like they've put out so many singles and like so many radio hits that it's insane, you know. So they were doing something right, and I think for like I'm trying to think of like for like the screaming aspect of stuff, there's a few, like George from Alexa on Fire, Howard Jones from Kill Switch Engage. He's like very huge for me just because of the wide range he has, plus he goes from singing to screaming, and I would say he's probably like the number one guy, just because I was like, I want to be able to do what he does in the sense of switch back and forth from screaming to singing, and then also hitting like super high screams, mid screams, and low screams. Like it just feels like his range is like limitless almost. So yeah, he's a huge influence for me.
You fuck with Lorna Shore at all? Was it Ramsey?
Not like
From
I haven't
Lorna Shore?
really gotten into it. I don't really fuck with music that heavy,
Yeah,
but
I don't either. But he's got a crazy like
range, like his script, like
he does,
his.
like,
He does
the
like
low shit,
this
you know
guy
what I'm
can
saying?
like make animal noises sound good while he's screaming, dude. It's like it's crazy. Yeah.
Fuck, we're back to me.
we gave you time, bro.
I know.
Yo,
but
man, you're supposed to be thinking about it.
I've been thinking about it. It got harder.
Machine Gun Kelly.
God.
You can let the people know. It's fine.
Dude.
I grew up on Backstreet Boys.
Hell yeah.
I say this all like it's the funniest thing whenever I say this because everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Backstreet Boys.
I guess the first two like sort of heavier like bands that I listened to. One of them's not even that heavy; it's more proggy, but Rush.
Yeah.
And then
Great band.
yeah, and then Avenged Sevenfold got me into like
What was it?
Avenged Sevenfold.
You know Avenged Sevenfold?
I guess not.
No way.
I don't know Avenged Sevenfold. Jeez.
I'm gonna.
Like,
Big
Yo.
time have to rip Avenged Sevenfold.
They're like,
you
yeah,
gotta.
That's-
Yeah. Afterlife, fucking amazing.
Afterlife?
Afterlife, yeah.
Dude, there's so many tracks Avenged Sevenfold. But
Yeah.
yes, like.
All right,
100%.
I'll check out Afterlife for sure.
Have
Bet.
you played Call of Duty before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Carry on. Black Ops 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Zombies?
Yeah,
What did
this-
you say? Carry on.
Yeah.
Okay. I probably need to hear it,
Did
but
you-
like,
Nightmare as
I played
well. I
zombies.
forgot he-
Yes. Yeah.
Did you ever play the NHL video games?
Chell, yeah, I
Well-
played like 2011, 2010. You know,
Okay. Wait. Go ahead.
Guitar Hero 2.
yeah,
Yeah, Beast and the Harlot.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's the best.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nightmare, like the Black. I think it's Black Ops 2, wasn't it?
No, it was. Fuck. Was it Black Ops? I think it was Black Ops.
It was a promo for zombies.
Black Ops
right?
2 Zombies, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Also, shout out to Lee for listening to the fucking Backstreet Boys because his harmonies and pitch and shit is insane from it. Like, I swear to God, bro. Like,
That's dope.
So, I'm a pop kid.
You really have a great voice too,
Thank
for
you.
sure. It's very unique.
Thank you.
I really like your voice.
Thank
But man, that's a great podcast. One of my favorite ones we've had yet.
Sweet, man.
Wishing you boys the best fucking show ever tonight.
Yeah,
We will
thank
be
you.
there.
Thank
We will
you,
be
thank
there.
you. It's gonna be fun.
And,
We always love coming to St. Catharines. So
Yeah. If you guys haven't checked them out, check out Judgement at Judgement CA on Instagram. Follow them. Check out the music. As always, drink water. Find God. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Stay blessed. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for your time, guys.
thank you guys.
thank you.
Yeah, man.
Kind of forgot there was a camera for a second.
My God.
We always do. There's a couple times where like I just checked out.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, but I was holding in a pistol.
Oh, he caught it. Thank God he caught
You didn't have it on?
No, it doesn't. Like, I don't know why. I lost like the bottom thing for it type shit.
I just need some Hennessy, help me relax. All this white around me, I might relapse. She walked in, black tea, you know I need that. All these girls on me, no I don't need that. I'll take a flight overseas and I won't be back. She took the breath out of me, can't breathe, I'm on my knees.